Hey, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual pricing for $25,000 with the burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 66-year-old female. Now, first thing you need to know is you can go directly to our website and use our free quoter. We've got it on just about every page. You just click the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. And click the coverage amount and put your birthday, rest of your information, click Get Quotes Now, and it'll pull up a page that will show you all the best insurance companies in your state, and it'll show you the companies that have the lowest pricing. So you'll be an exceptionally well-educated consumer, and that helps a lot in getting the best pricing. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. That's our toll-free number, and talk with a licensed agent. They can help you out there too. Now, the first thing you need to understand if you're a 66-year-old female looking for an insurance, specifically $25,000, is it going to be enough insurance for your needs? Well, let's talk about that a little bit. That's going to be either cremation or burial. The average cremation in the United States right now costs between $1,000 to $2,000. Now, that's if you're going to come home in a cardboard box or an urn. And if you're going to get cremated and have some sort of a ceremony, like a celebration of life or remembrance ceremony, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500. And, certainly if you had a $25,000 worth of coverage right now, yeah, you can stop watching the video. You don't need any more insurance than that. But if you're looking to get insured for a cremation, we typically wouldn't recommend $25,000. Now, if you have the money in your budget and you need that money in death benefit, then go for it. But most people we work with are on a fixed or limited income. So we really encourage people to get just enough insurance to take care of what you need to, but not to overspend. And so what we would typically recommend for just the burial where you come home in the cardboard box or an urn, we'd typically recommend around $5,000 to $7,000. Now that's more than you need, right? Because it's $1,000 to $2,000, but you're 66 years old, and you're probably hoping you make it to 76, maybe even 86 years old. And we know that inflation is going to be factored in. Things are going to get more expensive over time. That's why we build in a little extra coverage. If something happens to you sooner, there's a few extra dollars to take care of any medical bills or anything like that. Now, if you're going to have that cremation with the service, we probably recommend somewhere between $7,000 to $10,000. Now, again, you can get more if you need more or your budget allows. But, even if you could only afford $5,000, get that right now because it takes care of your most immediate needs as long as it's first aid coverage. And that's what we always recommend is first aid coverage. I'll talk about that in a minute. Now, if you're going to be buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is around $10,000. So if you walk into pretty much any funeral home, at least most of them in the United States, with a $10,000 check, they'll get it done for you. It's not going to be super fancy. It'll be very meager and everything else, but they should be able to get it done. But if you're a 66-year-old female, you might want to consider generally what we help people with is between $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000. Now, again, if your budget allows you to get $25,000 and you need that much, then go for it. But we typically don't recommend on this insurance you kind of get extra insurance just to give your family members money after you die, after you pass away. The reason is, again, most people we work with are on a fixed or limited income. And we really believe that instead of buying more insurance to give people after you're gone, you're just really better off spending that money on your family while you're alive. And you'll have those memories, and they'll have those memories for the rest of their lives. So we think it's just a better way to do it. This insurance really is, in our opinion, just get enough for what you need, and don't get this insurance to give family members after you're gone. As a rule, again, if you've got the financial means to do so, then go for it. But if you're on a fixed or limited income, let's kind of just focus on the most immediate task at hand. That's taking care of your final expenses. Now, one thing we absolutely do recommend is first aid coverage or benefits, and that's what we help people with here at Funeral Funds of America. And what that first aid coverage means that if your policy was approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would pay out that death claim, as opposed to a 2-year waiting period where if you died today, they won't pay any death benefit at all from a life insurance perspective for the next 2 years. If you die of a health or medical reason in the first 2 years, they won't pay any life insurance death benefit. So we don't recommend those plans at all. Now, a lot of people would say, hey, I like the first day coverage, but I know they ask health questions and I'm not in the best of health. What can you do? Well, what we tell people is, that's our problem, not your problem. So we work with enough different insurance companies that they all got different insurance underwriting. And we have approvals for first day coverage or benefits right around 90 to 95% of the time. So we're very good at what we do. And really the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had a really significant health issue, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you were on dialysis, or you were in a hospital or in a nursing home. Now, if that were the case, we would probably just refer you out to a different company. Sometimes, seems like every week anyway, we get a phone call from someone that says, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they don't have any insurance and we don't have any money. Their body's down at the funeral home. The funeral director's not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance to get a check in our hand to get the funeral director a check in his hand. And we have to tell these people that there's no insurance company in the United States that is going to issue a policy on a dead person and pay it out. It's just, this insurance does not work that way. And it's really unfortunate that somebody passed away and they knew they were going to die. It's no secret. They probably intended on taking care of this at some point, but they delayed. They didn't do it. And now their family's suffering, both financially because they don't have the money, but emotionally, they're trying to figure out how to come up with the money on top of grieving for a loved family member. And, do you want that to be your legacy? Do you want that to be the last memory of your family, that something you should have taken care of, you were negligent on, and you left that burden for them? Not a great legacy. So don't be that person. Just, this insurance is affordable. Get some. We can help you out. Now, one thing we recommend is staying away from the 2-year waiting period policies. Now, Colonial Penn's one of them. Their $9.95 plan that you see advertised on TV all the time, that's a 2-year waiting period policy, and we don't recommend it. There's other companies out there, too, that offer 2-year waiting periods, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber. There's other companies out there, too, that's all they offer is a 2-year waiting period. And, these companies have done a really marvelous job of convincing the American public age 50 and older that the only thing that they qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period. And nothing could be further from the truth. When we hear that, we just go, ha, 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 because we help people with first day coverage all day long. So don't listen to the marketing and the hype from some of these insurance companies, because a lot of it's not accurate. Now, a lot of 66-year-old females would look at the $9.95 pricing and go, oh my gosh, that's a great deal. I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for $9.95. And then they get on the website or talk with one of the agents at Colonial Penn, and they find out that a female age 66 for $9.95, all you're going to get is $1,200 for one unit. And $1,200, I don't think that's even enough for a cremation in most parts of the United States. And it doesn't really matter, because this plan's not going to pay out for the next 2 years for any health or medical related cause of death. So just think of this, $1,200, what it's worth today, is not going to be worth that in 2 years from now, so due to inflation. So you're just already behind the 8 ball, as it were, on this. So we don't recommend that at all. Now, for $25,000, Colonial Penn, as you get older, it gets difficult to get more and more coverage because they only go up to 15 units. And you really can't get any more than that. So let's see what 15 units would be through Colonial Penn. So 15 units is $149, basically $150, and you can only get $18,000. So you're going to max out at $18,000, 15 units. But let's do this. Let's go look at some first day coverage where you can get $25,000, and we'll get you some pricing here. So we've got $25,000 right here, age 66, female, and let's hit the quote button. Boom. Let's go. You'll be able to get the same pricing by using our quarter. So this is $18,000 for $150. We could get $25,000 for right around $102, $103. These are all these companies are all pretty close. If it's within $1 or so, we really recommend you choose a company that's going to get you a same-day approval rather than kind of make you wait a week or a month or whatever it would be, and go with a company that traditionally has more approvals for what you're actually seeking for. So in this case, either company's good. We would probably recommend, depending on your situation, probably recommend Trinity Life. It's right there within, 75 cents or something. But we can get a first day approval with them, where some of these other companies, you can't get a first day approval. And you got to look at the back end too, like what's the service going to be like after the policy is done. And we've found that Trinity Life's just amazing. We work with them. But anyway, level coverage, and that means first day coverage, but it's $103. I want to prove this again here. This is $25 or $25,000 right there. And it's $103 versus $150. So I'm just going to say that's roughly $50 a month. So with the Colonial Penn, you would overpay roughly $600 a year. After 10 years, you'd roughly pay over $6,000 more. You would have a 2-year waiting period. You would have a policy that actually pays out $7,000 less than first day coverage. And you would also end up with a policy that they will give you the privilege of overpaying on for the rest of your life. So if you want to get a plan where they're just going to charge you more, give you a 2-year waiting period, and just significantly overcharge you as long as you're alive. And remember, the longer you live, the more you kind of go backwards on these things. So as far as the coverage, just we don't recommend it. We recommend why overpay? Why overpay? And certainly, why get a 2-year waiting period? We don't recommend it. Let's look at it while we're here. You'll be able to see all these different companies and see what the pricing is. Let's kind of find another one that advertises or maybe a little well-known. Oh yeah, here's Lincoln Heritage. They're a good company, I guess. I mean, they're more, $150. It is level coverage, but quite a bit more. Now, they meaning Lincoln Heritage, have a plan where if you die or when you die, they will call 2 or 3 funeral homes and maybe do a couple other things for the family, but they charge for that service. And in many cases, they charge a lot. So that's $150 versus $103. I'm just going to round that right around $50. Again, that's $600 a year, right around $6,000 over the next 10 years. So you got to ask yourself, with a Lincoln Heritage policy, if you live 10 years, is it worth paying them roughly an extra $6,000 to maybe make a couple phone calls and do a couple other things that might only take an hour or so? Is it worth overpaying $6,000 to do that? Most people would say that that's pretty expensive. We would tend to agree. What we actually recommend and what we provide for folks is a free funeral and estate planning guide where you can fill that out in advance, and it will say who gets what goes where, and what you want done after somebody passes away as far as burial, cremation, all the arrangements. Fill that out, keep it with your insurance policy, and now your family is not only protected financially with the insurance policy, but also they know all of your last and final wishes, and all they've got to do is go out and just execute those. Just do exactly what you said, and they will know that they're doing exactly what you wanted done after you pass away. And what a blessing to leave people money to take care of things, but also instructions on how to do it. And that really just takes the burden off of them emotionally. What a loving gift to think of somebody well in advance and help them out in a situation that you know is going to be difficult for them when you're no longer here. It's like the ultimate gift of love you can do for somebody. And in this case, could save you well over $6,000. Remember, if you've got that, either one of these policies, you're going to overpay, and you live 20 years, you're going to overpay like $12,000. Holy cow. On a $25,000 policy? Insane. Don't do that. Save the money. There's ways to do it. We can help. So What we do, again, just go to our website. You can use our quoters. We've got one especially for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. You can get the best discounts and rates there. And also 888-862-9456. And you can call and one of our agents can help you. So if you got an existing policy and you want to price shop it to see if you got the best deal or just add coverage to it, we can help you out there. And if you need a brand new policy, we can help you out there. And if you just have some questions or concerns or need some information, we can help you out there too. So we look forward to getting to know you at some point in the future. And until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.